Okay, guys, let me share the screen and start with okay, so here we go. Okay, guys, as you're aware that we have started laboratory session again with the so-called virtual labs. But for microcontroller lab, we don't have. We have a virtual lab from IIT Bombay, but that we don't find it of any use for us for our experiments. So that's why we have to make use of some software tools. Okay. Um, okay. So we had two options. One is Proteus software, and the other is MCU 8051. Okay. As you guys may be aware that the Proteus software is is a commercial version. Okay, by Lab Center, it's a commercial version. It's not available freely, but we are using a cracked version. Using that, we can design circuits, embedded applications. The other one is MCU 805. It's a freely available software, no problem. But that's open source. But the problem what we face with that MCU 8051 is that there we can't show the connection between the microcontroller and the other components like LED, LCD, 7-segment display. It's not possible. It was kind of a kill compiler. So that's just for program debugging. That's useful for program debugging, not for interfacing purpose. So that's why we have decided to make use of Proteus software. So I'll show you the installation. Of course, I already installed. So I'll show you the video which explains the installation process of Proteus. Since it's a cracked version, now one or two steps are different. Otherwise, software installation process remains the same. And we'll look into an example, simple LED interfacing to see how the software works. Okay. Okay, fine. Here we go. So guys, I'll play the video now. Which shows the installation procedure for Proteus software. Guys, I think I already shared the link to download the Proteus software. So you can download the software. Okay, you can follow the steps so that you can install the software and you can start working on that. Because the situation as of now is that we have to do the experiments using this software, because when the college resumes, when we are going to work on actual hardware, no idea. Okay, so at least we have to acquaint with this new normal. So that's a situation. Okay, so here we go. Yes, before yeah, so before I go to the Proteus software, okay, I'll give I'll tell you which hardware we are going to use in our laboratory. Okay, this is the hardware by Robo.in website. We procure this from Robo.in. Aryabhatta 8051 development board with onboard USB programmer. Okay, so this is what actually we use in our laboratory. Okay, but now we have to simulate this environment, in the Proteus software. Okay. Oh yes. So what is Proteus software for those who don't know? Proteus. This it is a design suite using which we does the various it's used for various purpose like schematic design for logic design, basically. I mean logic and system design using microcontrollers, or using the logic circuits. It can be analog or digital. Okay, so for that purpose we can use Proteus software, that is schematic design. Next comes the firmware design. Of course, this we don't go in detail. We don't go to this anyway, firmware design, but you can know what are the applications for which Proteus softwares are used. PCB design, again, that's also very useful for PCB design. Next, we have 3D visualization MCAD tool. Similarly, hardware prototype. So for this purpose, Proteus software is used. What is of our interest is teach Proteus for embedded application. This microcontroller simulation is where truly Proteus software truly leads the way. Okay, so for this purpose, we are going to make use of Proteus software that is for embedded simulation of embedded applications. Okay, and like we make use of simple components like LEDs, 7-segment display, and LCD display interface to microcontroller, and we are going to simulate the that environment. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so fine. With this introduction, there's a video here. This video is also available in the package I've shared with you guys. Okay, you download. While installing, if you get in doubt, you can play the video. It's very simple, simple to install. Okay, you can start working with that. Okay, here we go. So I may have to skip some. Okay, yes. Now, when you extract the package, okay, you'll get these files. So first step is step one before installation. You have to open the license key. You select that and remove. Okay, this you have to do. Otherwise, the software doesn't work. Okay, again select on the left side and select install. I think this video is running little faster. Okay, so first thing is you open the this step one before installing folder. Select the license, select this right installed case, select the installed case, remove, and then in the available case select the first one and install. Okay, this video is little faster. Okay, so after installation go to the setup file. In fact, the package I've shared is already extracted. You need not extract it. Actually, the software is already extracted. So double click, install. Software installation is normal, just like you install any other software. Okay, extract the software. Okay, these are normal steps. Okay, you can follow the same steps. It's very simple. Okay, select these three. Usually these three will not be selected. You can select those three. Okay, go to custom. Here you can copy the installation path to program data path. This may not be necessary, but in case, select the same path. Make sure you are in the same path and press next. Okay, so these packages will be installed. Select next folder. Okay, and install. Very simple. This is very simple, guys. This is just like a normal software installation. Okay. I wanted to show you the actual installation, but it takes time. That's why I'm showing the video. This is okay. Okay, so these are the. Usually this will not be selected. You can select all and install. Okay. After installation, okay, go to the step 2 after installing Proteus. Okay, you have to go to open this folder. Open this folder. In this you find 2 folders, bin and models. Okay, you have to select those 2 folders. You have to select those 2 folders. Okay, and go to the installation folder where the Proteus is installed. Lab Center Electronics Proteus. Okay, if you have not changed the normal data, installation folder, and paste these 2 folders in that folder. Okay, so make sure that those 2 folders are copied in that folder. So the software is installed. Very simple case. Installation is very simple. Next, they show how to work with that. That I'll explain now. Okay. Okay, guys, any doubt in this? This is very simple, guys. First step is step 1, remove the license, install the software, and step 2, copy the bin and module folders, copy in the original installation folder. Okay, in the C drive. Okay, very simple. Okay, next is, yeah, here we go. Okay, so when you open the software, guys, this page comes up. This, and I'm opening the instruction. Okay, here we go. Okay, this page comes up. Okay, so how to work with Proteus software is very simple. Select new project. Yes, before that, just a minute. Yes, just a minute, because after the installation, okay, so this process is okay. This is done. Okay, just a minute, let me check. Okay, so make sure that all the modules are available. Okay, done. That's it. That's it. He's explaining some other application. Okay, fine. Yes, when this window opens up, select new project. Okay, you can give some name to the project. Just like in Kill Compiler, we give a name for the project. Okay, let us say let me give it as experiment. Simple experiment. Okay, the dot extension is .pdstrj. Okay, and if you want, you can change this folder, path you can change, or you can keep the same, nothing wrong. Okay, select new project, go to next. This here we are to create a schematic, as I told you in this this PDF. Basically we are working on schematic design, so we have to make sure that select create schematic from the selected template. Okay, in this, select default, click next. Okay, is asking for creation of a PCB? No, we are not going to create a PCB. So select do not create a PCB layout. Press next. Okay. Again, firmware, as I said, firmware is another application of the software. No, we are also not using this. Select no firmware project and click next. Okay, so in this page, what it shows is what is the purpose for which we have created this project. That's only for the schematic purpose. That's true. We are anyway very interested in schematic anyway. Click on finish. It will open up this page. Okay. Yes. So here where we are going to actually interface the components. Okay, with the 805 microcontroller. Okay. So to start with, yeah, select okay, how to place the component. For that, you can find one P, P on the left hand side here. That is for placement of parts. That is devices. Okay, here we have to select the target device, because here in our main board, in our 8 Arabata main board, the controller used is 8089S52. I think you can observe this here, 8089S52. We don't have this controller here in this software. Instead of that, we can use this one, 8089. Okay, C51. As you can see, it has the same features. Okay, 8089 C51. Select this controller, press OK, and you can place anywhere here. You can place anywhere here. There's a big space anywhere. You can place somewhere here. No issues. You can zoom in also. The mouse will help you in zoom into the that particular area. Okay, so now okay, microcontroller is placed. Okay, you can double click on the double click on the controller. You'll get the features of the controller. For example, the name of the controller is 8089C51, part reference is U1. Okay, and here you see the clock frequency. Okay, it is the frequency here is 12 megahertz, but in our hardware, what we use in we have learnt in our theory also, 8051, that crystal clock frequency connected to the microcontroller is 11.0592 megahertz. Okay, so we can actually connect external crystal oscillator to the microcontroller, that is this IC, or else we can give the the frequency here, that is 11.0592 megahertz. 11.0592 megahertz. Okay, and you can show all here, so that you can see the name of the processor and the clock frequency here. Okay, otherwise it may not be visible. So very simple. Okay, fine. Yes. Okay, fine. Now let us say which experiment we are going to do now. In the syllabus, we have done the first 2 experiments. That is using the Kill compiler, that is waveform generation, and the finding largest and smallest and sorting program. We have to start with the third pro experiment, that is interface a LED to the microcontroller and make it blink every second. Okay, so let us do this program, execute, simulate this hardware setup now. But for this, we need a LED. Okay, LED to be interfaced to the microcontroller. So here again the same thing. Go to the part, search. Okay, search as an LED. Okay, LED. you find many devices. Okay, because in this what you have to select is you have to select the active devices. Okay, there are many. There are display. You can find so many devices. Display, Lintech. There are many. Okay, for this experiment, you have to select active devices. Under active devices, there are many. Okay, you can see the colors. You can see the blue color, green, red, yellow. Okay, so there are many colors. Okay, you select any one of them. Let's say I select a green color, for example. Okay, select LED green. Select OK, and place it somewhere here. Place it somewhere here. Yes, okay. Is that okay, guys? Fine. Now, okay. So after the for an LED, we have to select. We have to connect the power supply. Okay. So for that,
Sir, how to change the clock frequency, sir?
I'm sorry.
How to change the clock frequency, sir?
How to
Change the clock frequency of
Okay,
the
how to change the clock frequency? Double click on the controller. You can see 18 is of course this I after selecting show all. Double click on the controller. You come up it will come up with this window. Here you have to change the frequency because guys we know that in 805 microcontroller the frequency of operation is 10 megahertz to 30 megahertz. Okay, so commonly used is 22 megahertz, 12 megahertz, something like that. Since we are familiar with 8051 and even the Aryabhatta board also makes use of controller with 8089C50, sorry, the frequency of 11.05 0.92 megahertz. So select this frequency. Okay, so select this, enter this frequency and press OK. If you want to see this information on the below the processor, you have to select show all and press OK. Is that okay? Up to this point, is it okay, guys?
Okay, let's speak in
Yes,
English.
this is very simple. It's very simple anyway. It's very simple. Okay. Now, next is guys, I'll open the circuit setup for this third experiment. Okay. We'll look into the circuit setup accordingly where we can make the connection. So we have taken the LED for interfacing with the microcontroller. Okay. Guys, what are the other connections? Okay. If you see this diagram, there is a crystal oscillator 11.059 megahertz connected to pin number 19 and pin number 18 along with the two capacitors of 33 megahertz. Okay, in fact we can make that connection here. How to do that is it's something like this. Okay, type crystal. Okay, it will come out with the crystal oscillator. Select the crystal oscillator, press OK, and you can place it. Okay, you can place it like this and connect the components. Even the capacitor can be searched similarly. Capacitor, you can, in fact you can search 33 picofarad capacitor directly. That's also possible. 33 picofarad capacitor also you can directly search. You will get a 33 picofarad capacitors directly. Okay, that's also possible. But in this experiment, that is for the third experiment, if you give the frequency here, it will work with that frequency. You need not connect a external crystal oscillator. It is working with the frequency given as a input to the at the properties of a controller. Okay, so that's why I'm not showing this connection now. What we will not do this connection. There is crystal oscillator connection and the capacitor connection. What we are going to make connection is only this one. That is LED connection to pin number. In our case, in the program, we have taken P1.0. We are going to make that connection. Okay. There's one more connection given to EA bar, external enable bar. This active low input signal, this should be set to high because we are not using external memory connected to the microcontroller. Whenever we want to use external memory as a ROM memory, we have to give low signal on the EA bar. Since we are not using this, we have to connect it to power signal, that is 5 volts. Okay. In fact, at this point in time, we don't require even this one also. What we have to make is only LED connection. Okay, LED connection is what we have to, for LED, there are two ways of connecting LED connection. Okay, that I'll explain it here. Okay, yes, okay. So in this LED, let me remove this first, delete this object. Okay, yes, so two possibilities. See, in LED, as you can see this, LED, this side is anode and this side is cathode. Okay, so LED glow, LED is on, turns on when anode is at a higher potential than the cathode. Okay, so now we have to connect this cathode of an LED to the P1.0. Okay, now how to turn on the LED? What is the condition for the LED to turn on? For LED to turn on, anode should be at a higher potential than the cathode. we are connecting cathode to P1.0, and hence to turn on the LED, the only possibility now is we have to make this pin 0, P1.0, 0, so that LED can be turned on with a positive voltage connected to its anode. Okay, how to connect that power? Yes, to select the power, to connect the power, you can go to this option, terminals mode. Yes, can you see that, guys? On the left hand side there is a terminals mode. Select the terminal mode. Here you get different options like input port, what we select, output port, bidirectional port, power module, power icon, ground icon. Okay, so I'll select power. Okay, select this. You need not even drag and drop, just select it and you can place it here. Very simple. That's it. Okay, this gives a 5 volts. Of course it's not specified here. This gives a 5 volts. Now connect this power to LED. Very simple. That's it. Okay, so now the condition for the LED to turn on is satisfied because anode is at higher potential than the cap. Now if this pin P1.0 is at high is at high condition, equal potential across anode and cathode, LED will turn on. Okay, so to turn on LED, what we have to do in the program is that you have to make P1.0 0, so that LED is going to turn on. This is that. Okay, guys, connection is that's all, guys, because as I said, we are not going to do these two connection. One is the crystal oscillator connection and another one is this EA bar connection. Not necessary. Without that is working, I checked it. Not necessary. This switch is not for this experiment. One switch is the other connection is shown, capacitor and resistor. That is not for this experiment, and hence we are not going to make that connection. It's okay. I hope it's okay up to this point. It's very simple anyway. It's just a drag and drop of components. Okay, fine. Yes, next is programming part. How to program the microcontroller. Two possibilities, two methods. Okay, one is right click the this controller, whatever you have selected. At the bottom there is an option called as edit source code. Click on that. Okay, here it shows what are the the controller we have selected, 889C51. The compiler is inbuilt compiler. Okay, create quick start files. Okay, click OK. It will create one default file named as main.asm. It has some lines. This we don't require. You can select all and you can delete this. Okay, now take the program, to be more clear, type the program there. So since I'm not typing the program here, copy the program. Okay, here we have used P1.0, guys. The pin as P1.0. Okay, okay, go to the compiler. Okay, select, copy the source code. That's very simple. Okay, so if you want to make any changes in the program, you can do it at this stage. That's not a problem. Okay, next step is save the file. Right click on the source code, that is main.asm, compile. Okay, just like a build target in kill compiler, what we do, it checks for syntax errors. If any errors, it will show up here. Otherwise it says compiled successfully. Then you can do what is known as build project. Okay, yes, guys, what this process does basically is, one is checking for the syntax error, and also guys, observe one more thing here. When we do the compile, you can see this, make debug.x. Debug.x is the X file, binary file for our program generated by the compiler, which is actually used in the simulation of the controller. Okay, so this Xcode is very important. This Xcode is what we want, basically to simulate the environment, our hardware setup here. Okay, fine, very simple. Okay, this is using the Proteus to edit the code. Later I'll show you using the kill compiler. Okay, guess what's the next step? Is very simple. Guys, one more thing what I'm missing here is the what you call the resistor. There was a resistor connected to the LED, to the anode of LED, that I have not connected. Without that it's working. That's okay. So next is very simple, guys. Next, go to the left bottom portion. There is a simulate icon. Click on that. Okay, so if everything is fine, if the program is fine, everything is fine, it will blink. See, we are supposed to is expected to blink at a rate of 1 second. In the theory, we have understood that the Xcode size depends on three factors. One is the crystal frequency, programming language, and the third important option, the important point is compiler. Okay, so this blink rate depends on the compiler. Here we are using Proteus software. There may be slight variation in timing. It may not be exactly 1 second. If you run the same program in another compiler, it may be slightly different time instant because it varies from compiler to compiler. Is that okay, guys? Fine. So this is one possibility. How to stop the simulation? Very simple. Stop the simulation. It stops. Okay. If any error, it will show up in the report. Okay. Fine. Other possibility is using the kill compiler, not to simulate the program, to create the Xcode. Okay. So to create the Xcode, we can make use of kill compiler. Okay. If you guys are familiar with the kill compiler, I'll show this so that you can make use of kill compiler to generate the Xcode. Okay. Fine. Yes, till this point, is it okay, guys? It was very simple, right? There's not much of a, big okay. This at this point, till this point, okay, no? Fine. Next is using a compiler. Okay, there's kill compiler.
How to put the source code?
Sorry. Enapa?
How to put the source code?
How to?
Source code. How to put the program, sir? Program.
Okay, fine. How to enter the source code? I think that is your question, I guess. Okay. So for that, yes, you see this controller, right? Right click on the microcontroller IC. At the bottom, you see edit source code. Okay. You click on that, it will come to this window. Okay. Let me close this so that from the beginning we can see. Right click on the IC, microcontroller IC, edit source code. Since it is already there, it's coming up, guys, because I already typed. Okay. Here in this window, here we are going to type the program. Whatever the program you have, you can type the program here. After typing the program, you have to check for syntax error and then generate the Xcode. So for that, what is the procedure, guys? Right click on source code. There is main.asm. Since our program is assembly code.asm, if it is a C code, you have to rename it to .c. Okay, so since it is assembly, I'm not changing the file name. Right click, compile file. This compiling of file helps in generating the source code. Okay, next is build project. Okay, so this will generate the Xcode. It will store in the default location. Okay, we need not bother at this stage because anyway it's going to access the Xcode. Okay, we need not worry about that. Okay, so this is how we are going to actually type the program and compile the program. Okay, Napa, guys, is that okay? Ritik, okay, Napa, is that?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
that's very simple. Right click on the IC and edit the source code. It will directly take you to the source code window. No issues. Okay, fine. Other method is using the kill compiler, guys. This is I'll show you this. This is also very simple. Okay, let me create a project. What was the experiment? Experiment project name is experiment. Okay, here actually we get that 8089S52. Here we directly get this controller, no problem. Okay, yes. So this is not necessary. Remove. Okay. Yes, now yes. Okay. New file. Yes, these steps are very familiar to us. Okay. I'll give the file name as led.asm. Okay. What's the next step is right click on the source group, add existing files. So I have saved it on the desktop. I'll select the led.asm file. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. Yes, how to generate the Xcode. Okay. In the kill compiler, to generate the Xcode, okay, first we have to check for syntax error. How do we do that? Build target. Okay. If everything is fine, okay, it will show 0 errors. Copy and paste program, 0 errors, no issues, don't worry. Okay, it shows 0 errors. After making sure that the errors are 0, the program does not have any error, no syntax error, go to options for target. This can you see this window, the icon, guys? Options for target. Okay, here you have to go to output, select create X file. Okay, but usually it will be disabled. Toggle this, create text file and press OK. After this, right click on the source group, source file, build target. When you do the build target, if everything is fine, you can see one line here. It says creating X file. Okay, where it is created, it will be in the folder objects experiment. Okay, fine. So this objects experiments, since I have saved the project on my desktop, I can see the objects file here. Inside that there is a there is in this folder there is one experiment. Experiment.txt file. Just can you see this file? Experiment.txt. This is the Xcode of interest for us. This is what required for the Proteus, to simulate the environment. Okay, fine. Go to this, the compiler, the Proteus software. Okay. Now, just a minute. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Now, to include the text code, what we do is double click on the IC. Okay. Yes, can you see one window here? Of course, now since we have already programmed it, we find one file here. There is program file. In the program file, select this folder icon. Okay, it is looking for the Xcode. Okay, where we have saved the Xcode, it is in right now. It is in my desktop objects folder Xcode. Okay, select the Xcode which you have generated using either the kill compiler. Press open. Okay, and of course you can set the frequency if you have not set as of now, and press OK. Yes, okay, fine. Next step is very simple, guys. Click on the simulate. Click on the simulate button, and we can see that the program works. Okay, the environment is simulated. Okay, this is the two method of inserting the Xcode for the Proteus software compiler. Okay, one is using the generating Xcode using the kill compiler, generate the Xcode, add it to the Proteus compiler, or else using the Proteus compiler, its inbuilt compiler, we can generate the Xcode. Yes, okay, this is very simple, and you can stop the simulation. Guys, in this case, the only thing, the connection wise, what in case if the other possibility is LED connection, what I'm talking is, okay, and delete wire. Yes, let's say in case if we connect cathode. Okay, just a minute. I'll this is rotate. If we connect anode to the pin, that is let us say P1.0, for example. Okay, then what should be the cathode? Cathode cannot be the source. If cathode is source, may not work. Select the ground, place it somewhere here. Okay, and connect, make this connection. Okay, so let us see whether this works. Okay, this works fine. Okay, because why I change this is because as I said, anode should be at higher potential than the cathode. Okay, since if you connect anode to pin, cathode should be at the ground, because pin P1.0 is blinking. Guys, you can see that the color changing this at P1.0. That shows it is blinking. Just an animation. Basically, it's after all, it's an animation. It shows the pin is blinking. So the blinking is, since it is going from 0 to 1, 1 to 0. So when it is 1, that is anode is at 1, cathode is at 0. LED blinks. If you connect cathode to the pin,
sir?
Hello, yes.
Sir, but P10 is at 0 also, sir.
P1.0.
Yes, sir. It is at 0, no, sir. We have set that in the program at 0, no, sir.
Okay. I'll open the program. The program says, see, initially set B P1.0 to 1. This line will set P1.0 to 1. Guys, why do we do this? Why not clear? Okay. Guys, in the theory we have understood that all the IO pins has to be configured before it is used as a input or a output pin. Okay. In our case, I'm using P1.0 as a, this is it an input pin or output pin? Is it LED giving information to the controller, or controller is giving information to LED?
Output pin, sir.
Output pin, no? Correct. Okay. Now, if it is an output pin, we have to clear the pin to 0, because we know that when the microcontroller is reset, all the pins are configured as a input pin. Okay, so first actually we have to clear the pin and then give the program. But since we are going to alternatively blink the pin, alternatively toggle the pin, that's why what's happening is it is changing from high state to low state and low state to high state with a delay. So first, let us say, for example, if it is 0, it is set to 1. If it is 1, it remains at 1. It will call for a delay. That is, delay subroutine is executed. It goes back to the main program. It will clear the pin. That means pin becomes 0. Again, it will call the delay. Delay subroutine is executed. So it generates 1 second delay. It will go back to the main program. Short jump back. It will go back here. And this subroutine is repeated continuously. Okay, that means our pin P1.0 is going to blink, toggle continuously. Okay, toggle in the sense it is both 1 and 0. If this is 1, that is, if the anode is connected to P1.0, if it is 1, and if the cathode is at 0, LED will blink. Other way around, if you connect cathode to P1.0, then anode should be at power. It should be at 5 volts. Otherwise, LED will not work. Yes, correct. This is a simple connection. You must have this is a simple simple logic. There is nothing bigger about this anyway. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is that correct, Alpa? That's correct? No. So this is actually toggling. Okay. What is the guarantee that this works? We can let us change this. Let us change these two lines. Clear P1.0, then set to be. Okay. Set to we can use complement function actually even better. Okay. Save the program. Each time you have to do build target. Okay, the Xcode is generated again, but right now it is working with the older Xcode. If you have changed the program source code, you have to stop the simulation. Okay, you have to make sure that you're assigning the reassign the source code again, because the source code has changed. You have to reassign the Xcode binary file. Okay. And run the program again, just to make sure that things are okay. Okay. So this is also actually this is the correct method, maybe, because first we'll clear the pin. The clearing will make sure that the pin is configured as an output pin. Okay. Instead of this, you can use complement function also, CPL. This also works fine. It is also very well can be applied for the toggling of LED. Yes, okay, guys. I mean, guys, any doubt till now?
No doubts.
Things are clear and straightforward. Okay. Yes, now. So thereby, for our these experiments, what we have in our laboratory now, from 3 to 10, we have to make use of this Proteus software for working with this experiment. And in Proteus software, you will find what are the components. What we require basically is LEDs. Okay. And then the 7-segment display, that's also available. 7-segment display is also available. Okay. And LCD display, that's also very much available here. You can go to parts. Okay. It is running. That's why it's running. Stop the simulation. Go to parts. Okay. It is. It is just. Oh no, sorry. So why it is showing that is because you select component mode, then go to P. Then it will show the search for the components. Okay. Earlier I was in this mode, guys. That's why it was showing something else. I was in this mode. That is terminal mode. Go to component mode. Select P. That is part search. You can search 7-segment display. 7-segment display. We'll find many. We'll find, oh my God. You don't find these many options in market also. You find all possibilities. Okay. And you can search LCD also. LCD display also. You find many. Okay, LCD of various possibilities, 16 cross 2, 128 cross 64, all these possibilities. Yes, okay, fine. Yes, now we have shared the the link for the Proteus. Okay, download the software. Try to execute the program, guys. Try to learn. Try to execute. You can make modification of the programs. You can come out with your own programs. Okay, try to do whatever you can. Okay, so that you can learn the tool thoroughly and execute the programs. Any doubt, you can get back to us. Yes, is that okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all from me, my side now, as of now. Okay. Yeah, fine. Thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.